Kaleidoscope Viet.
Xin chào các bạn. This is the fifth episode and also the first of two holiday special shows brought to you by Kaleidoscope Viet. The show is hosted by Friends of Vietnam Heritage, FVH for short, the leading culture and heritage society, based in Hanoi for more than 20 years. In each episode of Kaleidoscope Viet, we explore the colorful personality of Hanoi and Vietnam, diving into this nation's rich and vast culture, heritage and tradition. It is just about 1 month until the most important holiday for Vietnamese people, Tet. For those who is not familiar with Vietnamese culture, Tet is the name for Lunar New Year in our country. The first day of the Tiger Year, Năm Dần, is on the 1st of February 2022. However, Tet cannot be completed without a special occasion, the 23rd of Tháng Chạp, or December of lunar calendar, Ông Công Ông Táo, known in English as the Kitchen God Day. This is an important culture tradition which was passed down for various generations of Vietnamese people. In this episode of Kaleidoscope Viet, we will get to know more about this big event with Dr. Trần Đoàn Lâm. Music first, the song we are listening to is Em ơi mùa xuân đến rồi đó. The spring has come. The happy lyric is like a reminder to those who is still going with the busy flow of work to just stop for a moment and enjoy the colorful changes of spring in the air.
Kaleidoscope Viet.
Okay, the first week, I'm very pleased to meet you here and to receive your invitations to talk about the very big topic about Tet, because you know that the Lunar New Year, we call in Vietnamese Tet, plays a very important role in the Vietnamese cultural life, spiritual life. And in Vietnamese, we call Tet Cả, means the biggest and the foremost of the holiday of prime importance through the year. You know that this originated from the word Tiet. Tiet means a section of a bamboo tree. So the sections is identical with each length of time in the season, because in the year the season may be divided into different lengths or periods or stages. So Tiet means that transition. Actually, Tet Cả, the biggest sections of the bamboo, because it designates the transitions of from the old year to a new year. It's very important for Vietnamese, because you know that the Vietnamese people traditionally rice growers. So actually, in the past, we practice only 2 crops a year, rice crops a year. So it is actually the springtime when comes. It is also there was used to be farm slack. People had more time to relax after working here. It's very just take a lot of time, so they have reabsorbed new vitality, new energy to renew themselves, and that's why we call Tet. Yeah, Tet. You can Tet. Okay, so because it is the biggest holiday in traditionally, of course, in Vietnamese traditional calendar, and this cultural life of Vietnam, so it's divided into several stages.
Yeah.
The most important actually starts from the 23rd of the 12 lunar month.
23rd
lunar December. Yeah.
Yes.
The lunar December.
Yes. Could you just for some of our listeners, if they are new here, could you just very quickly summarize the lunar calendar and how it fits in with the solar calendar?
So it's very clear from the name, the term of this calendar is a lunar calendar, because it's based on the cycle of the moon. So I think that's rice growers in Asia also have this lunar calendar.
Yes.
Yeah, because it is traditionally people, decide the season start and the ending of any rice crops according to the lunar.
Yes. So when we're talking about dates now, so when we're talking about dates, when we're talking about Tet and the different stages of Tet, do people traditionally refer to it by the lunar date and lunar month?
Yeah. So it is of course, it's a difference between the lunar calendar and the Western calendar, the solar calendar. But many scholars say that in fact, the Vietnamese lunar calendar also has elements of the Western calendar or solar calendar.
Okay. Yeah. So back to the stages then. So Tet is how many days holiday? 3 days? No.
Traditionally, we have a Vietnamese saying vào 23 ra mùng 7. That means that Tet starts on the 23rd and ends on the 7th. But 3 first days after the eve are the most important.
Okay, so that's the first day of Tet.
The first, the second, and the third.
Are the three most important.
Yeah.
Okay, but there are many other days around these days that prepare for these 3.
From the 23rd to the 7th of the first lunar month. The first, the lunar January.
Yes, so it's 2 weeks basically.
2 weeks, basically.
Okay.
That starts the festive season.
Okay.
So you may sense any the date still, because actually it ends, and in the past it is the start the court and the offices the government offices started working again, working again after the 7th.
Okay, so the stages then of Tet. So you've got starts on the 23rd. From the 23rd to the 7th.
Right.
How many stages are there?
So it is the 23rd up to the eve. It is preparations for the Tet.
Yes.
Then Tet celebration itself, it lasts for 3 days, right? And then after this, also still, because why I said that the first 3 days after the New Year are the most important, because we have a Vietnamese saying, mùng 1 Tết mẹ cha, mùng 2 nhà vợ, mùng 3 Tết thầy. That means that on the first day, you should say good wishes to your parents, grandparents. Then the second, it is to the spouse, your spouse's family, parents and grandparents. And on the third day, you should visit your teachers.
Okay. Yeah. Traditionally. Yes.
So three most important.
Oh, I see.
Still, it's according to traditions. During the Tet, people have to, every day, especially in the countryside, people have to prepare a good food as votive offerings to the ancestor. Yeah, but in some places, people may do it only for 3 days. But in others, from the 1st up to the 7th. And the 7th, it is finished. When the Tet finishes, they will have the last votive offerings to the ancestor, and at the same time, it is also a big party, a banquet for the family. It depends on how many people in the family. They may have big or small banquet, and we call it banquet. Because during the Tet, we also offer the ancestry paper money as votive offerings, and on the last day of Tet, we will have to burn them, to burn these banknotes, fake paper banknotes.
Yes.
Yeah, as gifts for the ancestor to come back to their other world. So on the 23rd, before Tet, during the preparations for Tet, families have to go to cemeteries to invite their ancestors to come back to celebrate Tet together with the family members. And then on the last day of Tet, they will say goodbye to see them off.
I see. So the family members return,
right,
and they spend 2 weeks with them, and then they go back.
They go back,
and then return.
And also, the kitchen god also spends 2 weeks on his mission in heavens.
And so the kitchen god
leaves the family on the 23rd of the lunar December.
Okay.
And we'll come back to the family on the 7th, lunar January.
So it's almost different. So the ancestors are welcome back for 2 weeks, while kitchen god is gone.
No,
and
kitchen god is gone before.
Yes, okay, he's gone before.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll explain for our listeners what kitchen god is, but does kitchen god kickstart Tet? Is it the first main traditional stage of Tet? And for a lot of people, I'm still fascinated how important it still is. I suppose it's a little bit like in the West, Father Christmas. Father Christmas comes, you put out the milk and hang up and you get everything ready for Father Christmas, who suddenly appears. We still do that tradition a little bit. But the kitchen god is a much more elaborate tradition with an interesting legend behind it.
Right.
So when did the concept of kitchen god start to get celebrated as part of Tet? Did it grow with Tet?
That fire plays a very important role, essential role in human life. So I think the kitchen god, like any other nations in the world, also fire is essential for their life. So the kitchen god actually is a symbol of fire, of life energy, of
fire.
vitality, fire. Fire is used for
Yes.
cooking.
Fire.
Yeah, fire.
When you talk about kitchen god, what is the kitchen god? What are we talking about?
The kitchen god, the gods who has the responsibility to supervise on the affairs of the household, of the family. So his mission during the Tet is to go to heaven to report on the family affairs, what they have done in the year, even the bad and the good, but what they have done during the year. He has to report on the family affairs of the last year to the Jade Emperor.
It is believed that on the 23rd day of the 12th lunar month, the kitchen gods ride carp to heaven to deliver an annual report on household activities over the past year to the Jade Emperor. The custom of worshipping the kitchen gods reflects Vietnamese respect for family happiness. It is also a way to express the belief in gods supporting their daily life. The fire in the kitchen is a symbol of not only a warm family union, but also a bumper harvest. Although residents in each region across the country pay their homage to the kitchen gods in slightly different ways, the gods remain important figures in Vietnamese New Year. Does your family keep the annual custom of worshipping the kitchen god on the 23rd?
I think that we only have one day like that in the whole year for the kitchen gods to report to the Jade Emperor, so we need to prepare for them to go there to report very deliberately. On the 23rd, the kitchen gods day, we need to offer them the carp fish so that they can go back to heaven and report to the Jade Emperor. Then before we release the fish, we need to burn the joss paper with all paper clothes, hat and shoes so that they have everything ready. And the carp, we need to buy like a small fish to release. We can offer to the kitchen gods 3 carps. After we pray at our altars, burn the joss paper, we will release the fish. Together with the burned joss paper, we need to find a place where the water flows smoothly fish to make sure that the fish will be well and it can fly to the sky.
Do you do that every year, or have you ever skipped the kitchen gods occasion?
When my kids were small, I did not have enough time to go release the live fish. We used to buy the paper offerings package, including 3 paper carps, so that we could burn the joss paper. When my kids are grown up and then I have more time, I release the living fish.
Kaleidoscope Viet.
I think that in China it's appeared even before Christ. Yeah. Then maybe the call of kitchen god, the spread. I would not say that's from China, but I think it's naturally when the people see that the fire plays very important role in their life, they tend to adore it.
And of course, in those days, the cooking was done by fire.
Yes, animism, according to animism concepts. So everything also has the soul, the spirit, and the God, and that's why fire, must be given to God to keep fire. That means to keep the vitality or energy, life energy for the whole family. At the same time, responsible for protecting the family. Yeah, it's very important. But of course, China also has a lot of legends and myths about the kitchen god. But the most popular, it is also the love story between the three persons, 2 men and 1 woman.
Oh, this is the legend.
Yeah,
yes,
the legend.
yes. And does Vietnam have the same legend?
The Vietnamese legend about the kitchen god, it is the kitchen god in the past, especially in the countryside, people used 3 cooking stands to make up a fire.
Like
cooking
it's metal.
stands. Yeah,
like a metal stand.
Tripod.
Yes.
As a tripod. Yeah.
Tripod, yes.
Yeah, tripod. Yeah, tripod. Okay. So it is according to the legend, Vietnamese legend, Trọng Lang, it is the one man. It's very much loves Thị Nhi, and they get married. And then, because they have living with each other for a long time as a couple, but they don't have any children. So, and Trọng Lang treats Thị Nhi very badly. Usually beats her, and so lastly, Thị Nhi, says goodbye to him and to leaves the house and to go to seek another man and to get married to the man. But then one day, because the Trọng Cao it's very repents about the story and about how he has treated his former wife, and purely he comes back to the house of Thị Nhi, and Thị Nhi sees Trọng Cao. She invites him to the home and also treats him as very good to a good meal with wine, alcohol, so he gets drunk. And then suddenly the newly married husband of Thị Nhi comes back, and Thị Nhi doesn't wants her new husband to recognize, to recover that something has happened during his absence, and that's why she hides her former husband in
straw.
Because straw,
like a
straw, rice.
In rice. Yes.
Stack of rice straw.
Okay.
The new husband doesn't know about this story, and that's why he set fire on the stack of straw. Thị Nhi see that the fire, and she also throw herself into the fire, and at the same time also her husband also throw himself into the fire. So 3 have been killed by the fire.
3 people get killed by the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then later the Jade Emperor feels very moved about this story, so he turned them into 3 gods. In Vietnamese we call hai ông một bà, 2 husbands and 1 wife, and that's why it is represented by tripod, 3 cooking stands.
Like this, yes, the metal tripod.
Mm-hmm. But it's different from China. Here we also have on the 23rd day of lunar December, the family prepares a good meal as also a gift.
Is this in Vietnam or China?
In China and Vietnam also the same. Yeah. But here we release carps, fish, because the carps. Why the carp is chosen as a vehicle for the kitchen god to go to the Jade Emperor? Because the carp has the potential to be turned into dragons. So the carp is believed to be a divine fish. We release carp. That's why it is the practice which is done on the day of the start of the journey of the kitchen god to heaven. But in China, people offer to the kitchen god sweets, especially mullet, which is juice obtained from germinated rice seeds. We call mạch nha mullet. I don't know in the English, but mullet. It is the sweet juice obtained from, and because because this it is the sort of bribery they give to the kitchen god. If he eat the sweets, so he can say good things. Okay,
Interesting.
putting the family to.
So in Vietnam,
no, we
we
don't
release.
have
No,
such
we don't do
things.
that. We release the fish. So technically, there is no bribery.
Yeah,
They
bribery.
don't give.
We don't have bribery, and in China, people also offer the kitchen god a straw and grass for his horse. Actually, he rides horse.
He rides a horse.
A horse. He rides a horse to heaven rather than on the carp.
And he goes to see the Jade Emperor as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes by horse to heaven, and in Vietnam, he's on the carp.
But the kitchen god in Korea, in Korean tradition, is a woman. And the kitchen god is represented by a small bowl, baked, which is the bowl, a small bowl, which is made from baked earth, and the bowl should be filled with water, clean water, and placed above the fire in the kitchen as a place, and people have to change water during that.
And you mean the whole of Tet during the 2 weeks of Tet?
No, actually,
just on the
people
kitchen god
also
day.
usually change the water from time to time, periodically, and to ensure that the water in the bowl should be pure otherwise. But it is in the countryside. That's not nowadays, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so back to China then. When they offer the sweets, where do they leave them? Is it a little bit like in Father Christmas?
Kitchen.
You leave it in the kitchen, in a
the
particular
kitchen,
place near the
okay,
fire, near the stove.
Yeah,
or by the door.
Yeah. No, in the kitchen.
Okay.
In the kitchens.
And I see. And
But here we do not. We also prepare meals. Yeah, a gift, and a good meal for the kitchen god. But it is a good meal. It's actually a tray. The tray of good meal, of good food, is placed on the altar rather in the kitchen.
Kaleidoscope View.
Hi, I'm Stella, the Vice Chair of Friends of Vietnam Heritage, or FVH for short. For those of you who are not familiar with what we do, we were founded in 1999, over 20 years ago, and since day one, we've been telling the story of Vietnam's culture and heritage to anyone and everyone who loves this country. As far as we know, FVH, based in Hanoi, is unique in Vietnam. We are the only organisation to bring all cultural activities together under one roof. So how do we do this? We run many activities, including around 25 Hanoi city walks in English, Japanese and Spanish, exploring the city through the eyes of the locals, wandering down hidden alleys and revealing the stories behind the buildings. Leading academics and professors share their knowledge in small group discussions, giving us a chance to dig down deep into a topic. Our excursions go off the beaten track as we discover artisans and villagers eager to tell their stories, while our book club reviews Vietnamese literature and authors. These highlight just a few of our many, many activities, and if you would like to find out more about us, please email us at hello@fvheritage.org, and our website is www.fvheritage.org.
Kaleidoscope View.
okay, and then back to the kitchen god then. So it's technically the kitchen god is one god made of three elements: the two husbands and the wife.
Right.
And how visually?
Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity. It's a Trinity.
It's a
and
Trinity.
visually, for Vietnam, how are they depicted? If you said to a child, what does kitchen god look like?
The kitchen god here is in the Vietnamese visual presentations. It looks like Mandarin.
I mean Mandarin hat?
Yeah, Mandarin
Yes.
with the ceremonial clothes and also headwear. The kitchen.
That's interesting because that will then. Okay, I'll come back to that. And what does he look like in China? What does the kitchen god look like in China? Similar?
I think so.
Similar.
I
And
think
in
so. It's
Korea, it's a woman.
influence from a woman. No,
It's a lady.
Okay.
And is she dressed in ceremonial?
No, it is a woman. Yeah.
Interesting. And so, back to the kitchen gods. They live in the kitchen. Technically, the kitchen gods live in the kitchen all year.
Yes.
Where in the cooker?
Stove.
They live in the stove. Okay.
The stove.
So the releasing of the fish, the releasing of the carp, it symbolizes the
providing,
or is it to
vehicle,
support them?
Yeah,
Okay.
vehicle for the kitchen god to go.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
It's different from the practice of releasing fish and birds on the day of the wandering souls.
Yeah.
On this day, it's for the kitchen god. We release only carp.
Only carp.
Only
in the
carp.
rivers and the lakes. Yes, we see it. Yes, traditionally.
Wherever.
Traditionally.
Not.
Because I know you have to clean the house, etc., make everything clean. So can you talk us through the step-by-step process? If you are observing Kitchen God Day, what you do from the time you wake up to go to bed?
Yes, the preparations, because it starts. Okay, the kitchen god, it starts the Tet. So on these days, the people, because the preparations last for up from the 23rd up to the 1st, to the eve. So on the kitchen god's day, maybe a family may have a Tet tree or nail tree planted.
That's the bamboo pole.
The bamboo
and
pole.
You do that on Kitchen God Day.
Yeah,
yes.
right. And when on the 7th day, the Tet tree will be lowered down. Yeah, put down, but no more put up. Yeah.
Okay.
So people put up the new tree, the New Year tree, on the day of the kitchen god going to heaven.
Okay.
The new tree.
And then cleaning the house. You have to clean.
Not necessary. Not
necessary
on that day, because each that day signals the start of New Year celebration.
Okay.
That's celebration.
In Vietnam, when did Kitchen God Day become important, or did it just develop? Was it just natural?
It's difficult to say exactly when it appeared in Vietnamese culture, but I think maybe in the past the kitchen god might have another, appearances and another, story and mission. I don't know, but traditionally he is believed to be the reporter and the protector of the family. He reported to heaven about the family. So maybe it's a long time ago.
And so
who knows?
Okay, and so he comes back. So the kitchen god returns on the 7th day of the new lunar. Okay. So how does he come back? Does he return on a fish? On a carp?
Yeah, of course.
Comes back.
Of course,
okay.
Come back.
Returns on the carp.
Come back. Carp. Of course.
And then how is he welcome back? Is he welcome with the feast as well? So you said like the family feast. Is that part of the welcoming back?
Yeah,
of the kitchen
just
god?
come back to the kitchen and resumes his function as a protector of the family. Yeah, for the whole year.
And so obviously things centuries ago are completely different to now. Okay, so the family report.
In the old day, because when we were still using Han script for the ceremony to seeing of the kitchen god to the heaven, people beside the good meal banquet, as gift for him, besides the carp. And so when during the prayers, people would burn what you call petition or something, report in the Chinese characters.
Yes, so
of course we have.
So that family would have written in hand script.
We have in hand script.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do they write? Do they write what they've done in the year, or what they did good?
No,
what
no.
did
They
bad?
have samples. Just
A template.
No. A sample. It's a ready sample, like a document.
Yes.
As application, like anything. Letters. They have formula. Those the family had to do what the family had to do to fill in with his prayers. The address, the house, and the year, the age of the Lord, and so on. So his wishes to be conveyed. His wishes to be conveyed to the Jade Emperor.
And is this petition?
They had the petition burned.
And they burned. Okay.
Yeah, they burned.
Yes.
Like now.
Yes.
We call
So.
sir.
Nowadays, do some people write their petition and burn it as
It
well?
depends, because nowadays few people can write such documents.
So, Lump, if someone is writing
Prayers.
the family, if they did want to write their family report, would it have to
never,
be in
never.
hand?
It is not practice.
Yeah.
Only through prayers. Because anyway, before the ceremony, the family host have to stand before the altar and to say prayers, invitations, and to say prayers to.
And is there like a mantra? So if you're Buddhist, you said, is there a mantra that?
No. The prayers. Yeah, the prayers. Yeah, the prayers. Prayers or the demand. I mean,
Yes.
it is the oral demand or request. Request.
For it to have a good report.
Yeah,
good
report.
family report.
Let's say today is the day of the starting of the 23rd of lunar December. So we, the family, prepare a meal, a small meal as a votive offering for the ancestors. And my house is located at number, the street, city, and my name is such. It is there. So on this day, so I invite the kitchen god to enjoy, and the ancestor at the same time enjoy the meal, and I wish them just a good trip and something. Yeah, you may say, the prayers. Yeah, it's very simple. Depends on the host.
What do you usually do on the kitchen god's day, and how do you assign the task for each family member?
On the kitchen god's day, my kids would go to work or study. They would not prepare with the family. So me and my husband, we stay at home, prepare all the offerings, and then when the incense is burnt, we burn the joss paper.
See any changes in joss paper burning custom?
When we burn joss paper, our spiritual life is content, but we also need to think about the environment. I burn joss paper, but to a very limited amount.
What meals are usually included in your family votive offerings to the kitchen gods? And how long does it take you to prepare it?
I think it's not really important. It is just like every other offering meals. In my family, we don't have many people. I don't really prepare a big feast. I usually prepare vegetarian meal to offer to the ancestors. Even though we prepare very little, but whatever can be bought prior to the day, I would buy it. Normally in my offerings, there would be something fried, steamed, soup, 3 main dishes like that. And then sticky rice and dessert are a must every year. And also we do have a separate set of plates for offerings. I think we can prepare as well as we can. The things we prepare, it's not really important. It's what in our heart that counts. We can prepare very little, but they are pure and they're good.
Trong những ngày như thế này thì
What
gia đình
is
mình
your
hay
feeling
có những cái
towards
tâm
the
trạng hay
occasion?
là cảm xúc như thế nào hả bác?
Cảm thấy là
When I can prepare everything for the kitchen gods, I feel very content. If we can prepare everything ready for the kitchen gods before 12 p.m., we feel very happy.
Tại sao thời điểm 12 giờ lại quan trọng đến thế hả bạn?
Because 12 p.m. is the time when the kitchen gods all go to heaven. The meeting is at that time, so the gods will need to depart before 12 p.m. So we need to release the fish before 12 p.m. After 12 p.m., our kitchen gods are late for the meeting.
Before the kitchen gods go to the heaven, how do you give the family report to them?
The kitchen gods are honest. Whatever we do, they know. They will report to the Jade Emperor as is. So the only thing we can do is just prepare all the offerings ready for them to go.
How do you prepare your prayer to the kitchen gods?
Since I was young, until now I only pray whatever comes to my mind.
Back to the clothes, because like kitchen god, there you burn the emperor's clothes. You burn the paper clothes. So is that what's the symbol of those clothes? That's for the kitchen god.
The
there's
paper
three.
clothes.
There's three sets for each of the three, the Trinity.
The Trinity. No, it is the practice. I think it's very popular for almost for traditional ritual ceremonies when the people have paper clothes and paper money, paper banknotes burned.
And so back to the food.
Yeah.
So there's certain important dishes that have to be prepared.
During the kitchen god.
Kitchen god.
The kitchen god, alcohol in the rice. Rice and so salt. Because rice and salt, erica nuts, beaten chews. Erica nuts. I think.
And what's the symbol of the salt again? What's the symbol of the salt?
Salt is identical with happiness and something very. It designates warm sentiments. Good luck. And lime. No. It is not on the kitchen god. I mean, when the new tree is planted, it's put up. So the people use lime.
So when the bamboo pole is erected.
Right. Lime is used to draw bows and arrows, because the bow and the arrows are believed to be weapons to drive the evil spirits away during that. Yeah.
I see.
So there is one Vietnamese saying, đầu năm mua muối, cuối năm mua vôi, means people should buy salt at the beginning of the new year and lime at the end of the old year. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh. And the so betel, areca, salt, rice, and alcohol. So this is for
traditional.
Are these
votive offerings?
These are votive,
but not nowadays. Maybe people nowadays neglect them. They prepare only food.
Yes.
Eaten food. Yeah.
So before these would be votive offerings that you put on the altar.
Water is believed to
water
be
as well.
Yeah,
what's that
water.
For?
No. Water is the very much important element of the arrangement on the altar, or of the detail of the altar layout.
What's the altar? So how is the altar laid out for kitchen god?
We have for the kitchen god. No. There is no special altar for the kitchen god.
It's the family altar.
It is the family altar.
It's the family altar.
But water is believed to be the way for human beings communicate with the dead, the ancestors, through water. the water.
And do they put it in a bowl or bottle?
A bowl, a bowl.
Bowl of water.
And they
A
have
little
to
bit.
change.
Exactly
They
like
change
the Korean
every
one.
time before ritual, before the each ceremony. Yeah.
Like Korea. You said
Korea,
back to Korea, they do that. They put the bowl. They put the bowl of water in the kitchen, but in Vietnam they put it on the altar,
Right.
and they change the water.
Yeah.
And also on the altar is rice, salt,
Right.
areca, beetle.
Yeah.
This all goes on
Beetle.
This all goes on the altar. All these. So all these. So
The essentials,
yes,
right?
essentials.
First, paper money, right? Paper clothes, paper figurines, effigies of the kitchen god, 3 persons. Then areca nuts, beetles, alcohol, rice, salt, water, and of course incense.
And then back to the meal that the family prepare for the first day of kitchen, when the kitchen god leaves and when he returns. What are the elements? Is there any particular food?
No,
anything.
It is
Or Tet
simpler.
food.
The food for the kitchen on the kitchen god's day is simpler than the Tet.
And what would it traditionally?
food.
Yeah, what would it traditionally? It can be anything. Can be any type of
No,
food.
rice, fruits, vermicelli, pork paste.
Simple
something
food.
nem,
Simple food.
spring rolls. Yeah, depends on the
I
cakes.
see. Yes.
If you have already ready chung cakes, you may make it a votive offering also. But usually people make chung cakes in the past, so on the eve, before the eve, and they have the cakes boiled, cooked on the eve.
So banchung, yes. So the banchung, but that's also Tet food. That's not That's not
But
just
not
for
the kitchen god.
Yeah, not
days.
just
But
for
nowadays
the
it's ready, so it's very easy for you to buy in the markets, and that's why you can offer different kind of cakes.
Nowadays, the importance of kitchen god, and does it completely depend on generation, where you live? Is it different north, centre, south? Is it different is there any difference?
With the Viet, I
the
think
Viet.
it's the same.
The same.
Yeah, the same. Maybe in Hue they also make and they sell. It is the before date. They sell the figurines. Of
Paper.
Of the kitchen god, which is made from baked earth. So not
From that.
baked earth. That
From the little.
No,
that's different. No.
That is different. And people may put them, the figurines, on the altar for worshipping.
Of the 3, only in Hue.
I know. In Hue, I know in Hue, but in the north, no, we don't have in the north.
No,
because we hear the kitchen gods represented with the paper effigies, figurines.
And so back to whether there's a difference in, say, Saigon to Hanoi, because in the south you've got the peach blossom for Tet, but you've got apricot flowers in the south. So is there, if you were born and bred in the south, your kitchen god day, would it be any different to celebrating it in the north?
Actually, the votive offerings include specialties, regional specialties.
And what are they? How would they vary?
For example, the 5 fruit tree in the north is different from the 5 fruit tree in the south, right? In the south, people have some kind of fruits which may be present at this season, in this season, but they are absent in this season in the north, and that's why that means the south. And the south have the principle to arranging the 5 fruit tray according to the principle cầu vừa sung đủ xài. That means we wish to have enough money, enough wealth to spend in the year. Riches we have. We wish more riches to spend in the year. Yeah. Cầu mean custard, apples. Dừa, coconut. Sung, fig fruit, you know, the fig tree. Đủ, papaya. Sai, the mango. Yeah.
That's in the south.
In the south. But in the north, in the center, people would, because Buddhism is very strong here, so people prepare for the 5 fruit trees, bananas. The Buddha hand fruit, I don't know this.
Yes,
what is called. It is persimmon, maybe orange, kumquat, pomegranate, grapefruit. Yeah. What else? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and do they still have? And so back to the 5 fruit tray. Is that specific to kitchen god or Tet generally?
No, Tet generally.
Tet
because
generally.
it starts on the kitchen's god day.
Yes.
So if you prepare the 5 fruit tray, so you should remember for this such kind of fruits.
Yes.
Such kind of fruits. Yeah. To be.
I see.
Placed. That's true. Do you know why people here prefer kumquat and pomegranate?
Let me guess. Is it because it's more watery and juicier?
No. Because it
Sweeter?
contains seeds.
Oh, what's the significance of that?
Pomegranate and kumquat contain seeds, and the seeds are believed to be the symbol of a family have many children. In the past, the Vietnamese populations were small, and the rice growing agriculture. I mean, rice agriculture requires a lot of human force, labor force. And that's why people always wish to have children. And a happy family, the criteria for a happy family is a family which had many children. And the children live in the same house. And even up to 5 generations in the same house. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, it's very normal.
And so, so that's in the north, but in the south.
Pomegranate, grapefruit, and also kumquat. Because they contain a lot of seeds. The seeds, symbolize.
But that's not. But in the south, that's not as important.
No, in the south, they used watermelon.
With the seeds.
Watermelon with the seeds. But watermelon used to be absent on the 5 fruit tree in the north. Only after 1975 when Vietnam got reunited, and that's one. So the culture from the south so influenced on the north, and the northerners also adopted this practice of placing watermelons on the altar. But not originally not a northern tradition.
Interesting. Oh my gosh, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh gosh. Because there's many fruits have seeds, like apples have a pip.
many, but
these are specific ones. Yeah. How? And
the kumquat. Why people choose the kumquat? Because kumquat, according to
fertility.
Legend, kumquat has very, very beautiful color. It's gold. Right. It's also the color of gold. That means of wealth and riches. The second, kumquat, according to Chinese legend, one man once went to the forest and he discovered that the 2 immortals were playing inside a kumquat fruit. And that's why the kumquat is believed to be divine, sacred.
I see. And it's important in the south as well? Kumquat, is it important? So only the north? Only the north?
I would say not. Very popular in the south. In the south, not. And custard apple also has many seeds.
Yes, it does, yes.
Yeah.
And that's in the south or the north or both?
In the north.
In the north.
In the north. And in the south also.
Yes.
In the south, of course. In the south.
I see.
Kaleidoscope.
Hello, this is the Kaleidoscope New Year quizzes. Let's test your knowledge about the Vietnamese New Year, that holiday. Question 1. Before the New Year starts, every family member bathes in water treated with medicine herbs known as coriander or nước lá mùi in Vietnamese. What is this custom for? A. To wish for good health. B. To wash away all the bad luck of the past year. And C. To show respect to their ancestors. And the correct answer is B. Wash away the bad luck. Question 2. How do Vietnamese people normally choose the first person to visit their home in the first morning of the new year? A. Someone having a close relationship with the house owner but not a relative. B. Someone with a family member passed away last year. C. Someone reliable, cheerful, and healthy. And D. Someone with a suitable zodiac sign with the house owner. And the correct answer is C and D. Someone reliable, cheerful, and healthy, and with a suitable zodiac sign with the house owner. Final question. Which animal appears in Vietnamese zodiac, but not in Chinese zodiac? And the answer is cat, or Mão in Vietnamese. Chinese zodiac, the cat is replaced with the rabbit. You get all the answers correct? Don't worry if you didn't, cause now you have known more about Tet holiday.
Kaleidoscope.
Do you think youngsters nowadays believe in the kitchen gods, or do they celebrate the occasion with their family?
I think there are two styles. Some youngsters do believe in the kitchen god, but others do not believe. And if they do not believe in it, they will not think that the day is important.
Could you tell me this? How do you know about the kitchen god worshipping tradition? And do you teach the custom to your children?
My father was a very cautious man and he is very careful in everything traditionally. So I just follow my father's footsteps. I had my children pretty late, so there is an age gap between me and my kids. They grew up do not really believe in spiritual life, but my husband does help me in preparing.
As the society is changing rapidly, could you feel the deviations in people belief and the importance of the kitchen god's day?
During our parents' times, we only went to work for like 8 hours and then we came home, so we had time for our families. But the youngsters now, they are busier than us. And then for the death date anniversaries, there are a lot of ready-made cooked meal services, so we can just buy them to offer to our altars. And then when the incense are burned, we could burn our offerings, and then we release the fish. It's a kind of hard work actually. It could just take us like the whole morning already. We have to wake up early.
So when you were growing up, do you think that your kitchen god day would be any, so say when you were 10 years old, okay, or when you were growing up, your family, do you think your kitchen god experience and day is any different to the average person nowadays?
Honestly, when I was small, the country at that time was very difficult. So that actually was very short. The celebrations was very short, and it was much simpler than nowadays. Nowadays much different, because now there is tendency to restore good traditions from the past and good practices. So the Tet nowadays is more complicated and involves a lot of practices rather than in the past when I was growing up.
I see. So it's good
it's
and
a
bad.
Different.
Yes,
Yeah,
I see. I see.
Because that time it's where people still live on, rations and coupons. Receive a certain amount of food every month. They didn't have conditions enough means to do really a Tet.
Yes. Oh, I see. Oh, it's very interesting though, kitchen god. It is interesting.
Yeah.
It is interesting. So it's really important. Yeah. And do you think that it's more commercial now? Do you think a lot of it is much more commercial?
No, I would say that nowadays people, because I went here in the richer than in the past, so they can afford to have very good Tet celebrations, including the things and the votive offerings, the food. At the same time, people also are very busy, so it depends. If you have time, you have money, you can have a good Tet, very luxurious Tet, but you don't. You can't afford if you can't.
Interesting. And how are you? I know you won't know this question, but do you think in the future, as Vietnam changes, because every country changes, that you think kitchen god will always be important? I know it's the start of Tet.
It's difficult to predict in the future because like Japan, Japan it just the change. They abolished the traditional Tet a long time ago, and now they celebrate only the Western Tet New Year. No more traditional.
I hope that doesn't happen here.
Only it's very vague, vague. And there's some echo from the traditional Tet. Now is the Japanese culture, like people go to a Buddhist temple and to write their wishes on their slips of paper, and then have them hung on trees at the Buddhist temple. So maybe it is the very.
Oh, I hope that doesn't happen here.
And they celebrate only Western Tet.
Because it is interesting now, because when I first came to Vietnam, Christmas, you take Christmas, was tiny, and it was really done for the tourists. You come and stay in a hotel and you got your Christmas tree, and now it is huge. And Vietnamese people love celebrating Christmas.
Yes.
And its importance, the importance of Christmas, I think, in society here is much more important, but not symbolic, not religiously. I think it's maybe more commercial and
cultural.
Commercial and social, and it's a great party and it's a great experience. But do you think that, so I guess like a little bit like Japan, do you think eventually the 1st of January in the Western New Year will become more important than Tet? Or do you think because Tet is so important in Vietnamese culture and the main holiday that it will?
In my opinion, it is. I sense that the Vietnams will be developing as like other countries. It means that the traditional Tet will be impacted very strongly by the new trends, new tendencies from the Western culture. You see that now people are more eager, especially young people, more eager to celebrate Christmas than the Tet. And that's why we are members of the group which is called Vietnamese Communal House, Đình Làng Việt. We try to stage the traditional Tet every year at the places, for example, at the Heritage House in the old quarter of Hanoi, or as in at the Kim Ngân Communal House, to show children, young people, how the Vietnamese people have been traditionally celebrating traditionally Tet.
Yes, that's so
very
important.
It
is
is
so
our
important.
efforts. We try to preserve.
Yes.
To preserve our cultural assets and cultural value. And
so
that
important.
I think is one of the Vietnamese cultural values. Of course, in the past it included, because in the past people who still live on rice, on agriculture. It is the rice growing, so they had much more time for entertaining Tet, for celebrating Tet. So nowadays we should save our time and energy and resources, and that's why the tendency is that people will cut short the Tet celebrations, the length of Tet celebrations in the future. It is, I believe, that in also common course of development.
Yes, I guess. And also when people get as people get older, they want to be independent, and a lot of people go away on holiday now, obviously, where you couldn't before. But
for example, for 10 years now, for dozens of years now, people in Saigon, in Ho Chi Minh City, tend to go out as a tourist, to go visit as a tourist to other countries, rather to stay at home to celebrate Tet. And now in Hanoi also the tendency has started. People choose to go to visit places, other places than their home, and they also go abroad as tourists. Just to
well, it's
visit
the
other
holiday.
countries.
It's the big holiday season as well. Yes.
But traditionally, you know that you may have read Vietnamese literature, many Vietnamese books, which tell about Tet celebration, traditional Tet celebrations. So I think that the authors still say that Tet celebration is the occasions for family reunion. It is, of course, it is exact. Of course, it is exact. But young people, I am not sure that the young people, many, or the entire youth share the same concept.
No. Same as any country.
Country.
You know, if you are praying for the kitchen god to send a good report to the Jade Emperor, and you have a bad year, so you've got your report, and presumably, and that new year, your year, you report on what you did in the past, presumably because you want a good year for this coming year, for it to be good.
Right.
If you have a bad year, then would people start to not believe in the kitchen god?
No, it is bad year, good year doesn't. The concept of bad year, New Year's doesn't have any connections to the deeds, the actions. What the family has did in the year.
Past.
No, in the past. No.
Okay.
Over the past, no. This doesn't have any connections, because the bad and the good year, it depends on your age. I mean the family lot or the family host.
Oh, so explain that? Yes. So,
for example, it is the concept for compatibility of the sign of the year with the age of the head, family head.
So if you are 50 years old, you're the head of the family.
It depends. Maybe for you are now in the 50s, right? Or you are 50 years old. So this year, maybe a given year, may be bad or good for you. It depends on the
On
the
year.
character of the year. The character of the year to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I see.
But not to your action.
But the kitchen god report. The report
On the deeds.
on the deeds.
On the deeds
what you've done.
of the family.
Okay.
Yeah, you've done.
Okay, I see. So if you've done
The kitchen god doesn't or cannot influence or decide what you do, what you want to do. It is you to decide what you do, you will do, right? But the bad year and the or whether a bad year or a good year, it is actually is a very objective factors, not subjective factors.
Yes,
You
I
can't
understand.
decide. You can't choose this. You
Yeah.
have to live,
Yes, I see.
to survive it, if a bad year, and to do much more, to try your effort to reach, to achieve more and more if in the good year. But you don't have the right to decide whether it is bad or good for yourself. It may be bad for yourself, but good for me. Depends on your age. None of the kitchen.
Yes, and so sorry, we need to finish now. So one more question. So your family done something bad, okay? So I don't know, they've done something bad. So in that previous year, so in the report to the kitchen god takes the Jade Emperor, you should mention what you did bad.
Yes, of course.
And the Jade Emperor, what does the Jade Emperor do with these reports? What is the purpose of having these family reports? So if there's something you've done bad,
it's just a belief. It's belief. Because it's not a reality, because the Jade Emperor doesn't
exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's a belief.
Yeah.
And I think that the practice of sending the kitchen god to the Jade Emperor for reporting, it's more symbolic. It has the meaning of like a warning, or advice or warning to you. So about that, okay, you have to repent what you have done bad or not. Yeah.
Yes, so is it something that's different but similar to a Catholic going to confession?
Right,
So you make your confession.
confession.
So is it a way for the family to, if they have done something bad?
Yeah.
Just
maybe the Jade Emperor
confess.
will punish you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, meta or something, punishment on you or something. But it is just a belief.
Yes.
Just a belief.
But my question is, if you have done something bad in the past year and your report it goes to the Jade Emperor, and then something bad happens to you, you're saying in the new year, you're saying
of course,
that technically is nothing to do with your report, because whether you have a good or bad year depends on the compatibility of your age. So everything is
different things, right?
Okay.
So the report. You mean the report?
yes,
Right?
yeah.
What the Jade Emperor will do with the report
Yes.
on your bad things?
Yes. What?
Right?
What will he do?
No, I tell you that the Jade Emperor doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But people know that the kitchen god may report, or will definitely report on your bad things to the Jade Emperor. So we should take care. We should be very much careful about your actions in the new year, right? Still, according to the law of casualty, right? Casualty or cause and effect. Cause and effects. If you have done bad, so we will receive in response also bad in new year.
Yes.
So-
Yes. Oh.
Cause and effect.
Interesting, love. It sounds like it's almost like a symbolic making your confession, almost. And if it, almost like that. Yeah. Just interesting, and to make sure a way to make sure that you do good, that your family does good.
Warning, I think
Yes.
it's more.
Interesting.
Be careful.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all for today's show. We hope you enjoyed tuning in to learn about the Kitchen Gods Day. We will be back with the second holiday episode. Thanks again for listening and see you again soon. Tạm biệt và hẹn gặp lại các bạn.